Okay, welcome back to the Tim Weichselbaum Show. This is a podcast about my life where I talk about my life, my living situation, my problems. Who would want to hear about that? I'm already getting... Who would want to hear about a dude talk about their problems? How's that a podcast? Like, I get that. Who the hell want to... I get why you would do it. Because you have nobody to listen to them otherwise. Because no one's listening to your problems. No one's like... But anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's not do a podcast about my problems. Because that's worse than boring. That's like... That's like worse than boring. That's like bad karaoke. Offensive type of thing. It's like, I don't know. Because there's always going to be somebody that's bad at karaoke. And then this is not boring. This is worse. I wish I now got to leave the room because my ears are bleeding. You know, that's one of those types of dealies. That's what this podcast is. It's me talking about my problem. All right, we got to think of a better format. I mean, problems can be interesting if other people are searching for those problems. Hey, I got this problem. But who wants to just hear about somebody's problems, like random ones? No, you want to hear about specific ones that you're also having at that particular time. And I'll go, oh, he's having this problem that I'm not having? Okay, maybe I know how to fix it and I'll tell him. That's why I'll listen for that one problem. But all of them? That's what therapists are for. They're very expensive. But that's what they're for. And then you feel like, oh, I got only this much time to tell you my problems. I need more time to tell you. And then you feel like you barely got into them. It's like, well, I guess I'll wait another week to try to keep telling you about the first problem that I haven't really fully explained yet. You kind of didn't really listen to me for long enough for me to feel like I fully explained my problem. And you're already giving me advice. And it just doesn't feel... I'm not going to take the advice because it doesn't feel relevant yet. Until you've heard all of the the depth of the like in a way that you could actually get to me, in a way that you could actually understand. Because problems are not like, oh, if there's a quick fix, I would just do that. If there was a quick fix that anybody knew the answer to by Googling it, I would have already probably bought that thing. If there's something I could buy to fix the problem, 100% I'm going to do that. Anyway, I'm recording in a different angle of the room. Different part of the room just to switch things up. I got tired of the background and the lighting I'm still not happy with. It's horrible. My face, my skin is cashew yellow, cashew off-white. My skin is not even as dark as a cashew. Cashews, raw cashews maybe. My skin's the color of a raw cashew, and it seems like it's only getting whiter as I'm yelling, as I'm getting more warmed up for this. Shouldn't it be turning red? I'd rather have a red face than this ghostly cashew raw. So we're going to have to up the contrast or something. We're going to have to do something in post-production, lighting-wise, color grading-wise. I don't like it. It's too white over here in this part of my face. Anyway, so that's something I like. That's one of my problems, is the lighting. I'm a very perfectionistic person. That's why I can't even finish sentences. Usually I interrupt myself before even getting to the end of a thought. Because I'm already thinking, nope, there's a better, you're stupid to even say that. Even that thought is not worth thinking or saying. You could think it. But for me to finish a thought, by the time I get to the end of the thought, usually a newer thought that's better comes in. It's like, well, that's stupid. As soon as I say a sentence, I'm going to have these thoughts coming up. It's like, what about this? Some people would disagree with that, and you're going to say it? So no, I don't finish the sentence if I feel like it's going to end stupidly in a way that I could criticize. I don't even like to finish this. Anyways, that's what I do. That's why I can't speak very well. And also, a lot of the shit I have to say, it's negative. Like, I don't really like to speak out a lot. So I tend to be quiet and reserved and I stumble over words because I'm not confident in what I'm saying because I know how it's going to be perceived the second I say it. I'm not an idiot, that much of an idiot. Of course I'm an idiot still. Of course I still have dumb thoughts. I'm still growing and look back at myself and go, oh, you were an idiot for this. You didn't learn this. Now I know. So I'm not saying I'm not an idiot, but I'm saying I also have awareness of when I'm saying something that's going to like come off the wrong way. But sometimes I say it anyway because I don't care. And I like doing that because it's fun to be controversial. Like for like a comedy set, I like to say what you're not supposed to say, and then people get turned off by it. And I kind of do that on purpose. But then there might be one person that actually gets what I'm doing. It's like, oh, he's just doing that because it's funny to do. It's funny to say things that you're not supposed to say. Okay, I get it. Now I could get on board. But then there's like 90% of the crowd just go like, well, I guess he thinks he's being funny, right? I don't get. He's just saying, I don't get it. This guy's evil. They think I'm like not being ironic. Like I'm just being ironic, but they don't. Not everybody has like the subtlety. Not everybody. Hey, other people are idiots too. I'm not saying I'm that much better than them, but some people I could pick up on jokes a lot better than, and they don't pick up on my jokes, and then somebody will correct them. Like, hey, you didn't see that he was making a joke? It went over your head. And then I go, oh, thank you for sticking up for me and complimenting me for having a subtle sense of humor. Somebody did that once on the internet. And it made me feel really good about myself because it was on like a chat room in a Telegram group or some chat for a crypto-related group. And I made a joke, and somebody didn't get it, and then somebody else chimed in. It's like, you don't get the subtlety of the joke he's making. You're dumb. And that was like, hey, I'm glad somebody understands. Gives like that's a compliment to say that I am whatever. It felt good. This was like 5 years ago, probably. It was like the first, bull run, crypto bull run that I was like really intense, like 2017. The end of 2016 leading up to 2017. Was that it? No, it was 2017, the end of it was around December of 2017. Trump was in office. Yeah, I just remember based on events in my life. Like, I just remember based on that because 2017, I got diagnosed with epilepsy in July. And I definitely didn't have it was definitely before the Boar Run. Before? It was before the Boar Run. I just knew that because I had, because I bought DMT. I guess it's fine to say this now because it's been 6 years. It's past the statute of limitations. I used crypto to buy DMT on the dark web and what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and so I spent a lot of crypto on it, and then it went up in value a lot. Just the change left over from that illegal transaction. That's how all crypto originated, was from Silk Road. It all got moved around on Silk Road. You could just, like, pretty much anybody who holds crypto, the crypto that they're holding, it went through that exchange or that marketplace. You could tell the history's there. It's cool. That's what I like about crypto is the immutability and the fact that once it's in the ledger, it's in there forever and it's not going to change. You can't rewrite history. And I love the finality about it. And people might not like that because, like, if you send the wrong thing to somebody, it's gone. But it's not that hard. Just look at the address. It's nerve-wracking to send a large amount of Bitcoin to an address, but it usually works. It's never not worked as long as it's the right address. Sometimes it doesn't get confirmed. That's terrifying. Should we get into that? Should we get more detailed into the crypto stuff? Because I was definitely talking about something before, though. I was talking about the bull run and how I forgot how I got started on that. But who cares? I could just talk about whatever, but I felt like there was something else there. Yeah, crypto. I'm an old school crypto early adopter. I adopted it as soon as it came out. Another thing that's sketchy about me, which is in my history, my life history, is my first job. I'm proud of this. So it's sketchy, but I'm not like ashamed of it, or else I'd still be. Yeah, it's not that shameful. It's cool, but also kind of embarrassing a little bit, depending on who it is, who's asking about it, who's finding out about it. Like my mom, not excited about this topic. But my first job out of high school was programming for a porn site that was great. A great porn site. Okay, this is embarrassing. This is shameful to talk about. This is shameful to talk about. But it was a big porn site. It got like 250,000 uniques a day. And that's not that much, but back then I guess that was considered a lot because it was in the top 10,000 or top 1,000 websites in the whole world. So that was a lot. I think that was the minimum it got. I think it got a little more than that, like 400K uniques a day. That's a lot of people jerking off using my handiwork. I was the programmer. It was my responsibility to make the search function. This was a long time ago. Every porn site should have a search function that's like basic, right? But this was 2008 or 2007, and they didn't have no. It was probably 2009, actually, somewhere around there. And they didn't have no search function on this huge website that was in the top 1,000 ranked websites in the whole world, and I was the one in charge of that. So many people were using my handiwork as they were trying to jerk off. So you better hope it worked. So that was a big responsibility for me, probably the biggest of my life so far, is making a search function for a huge porn site with people that need to get what they want. They got to find the type of person they want to jerk off to as soon as possible, and they had an autocomplete. He wanted that, I think. He was like, can we make it so... I think that's all I was doing. I don't know if I made the search function itself or just the autocomplete part where it drops down and tells you, oh, do you mean this? So I'm a fucking legendary rock star hacker programmer, and that confidence leads you to, it makes you look good on a resume. Like I did put this on my resume. I just didn't use the word porn. I just said I work for a big site that got a shitload of traffic. And that's my first thing out of high school. And then it led to this other thing that was not a porn site. It was the opposite. It was just it was like for teaching kids how to relax. I'm not going to say anything that creepy. There's just the word kids is creepy. Just talking about kids after you're talking about porn is creepy. But what I'm saying is I taught college kids, high schoolers, how to prepare for college. There's a college prep. They don't know who I am anymore. They're not going to see me talking. Also, who cares? I don't think they're even in business. If they are, I did a good job. It was my first legit gig. It wasn't just like under the table. This porn guy, he just paid me like through PayPal whenever I billed him. And one time I billed him way too much. He was like, really? This much? You charged me this much? So yeah, that one was not as regulated. But anyway, I got another one and I got whatever. So I built up a resume as a programmer without going to college. I taught other people how to get into college by programming the tasks, by making a nice little website work well so they could log in and download the materials. I don't remember what the hell I did. I just know I learned quite a bit on that one. I didn't do that well. They didn't give me the best review. They said, yeah, so I was mad about that. I was like, why are you giving me a bad review? Of course, I could have fixed it at the time. You're just leaving a bad... It's very passive-aggressive because they didn't mention anything about how I did anything wrong. They just left me a bad review, even though, of course, I was learning it on the job. So, so whatever. That's fair enough. It didn't really affect me. I still got another one after that. Or, Got another one, contractor, programming, old school programming. I'm an old school tech developer. Before they called it like full stack. I don't know when that came about, that term to be like a full stack or front end, back end web developer. I started before that was even a thing. It was just like, yeah, I make websites. I don't know about, of course I do both. I do both. Front end just means the HTML, JavaScript, CSS. It's all front end is, and the text, like, and the user experience. Of course I do that. I do everything. I'm a web designer, whatever, web design. But then they started to split hairs and go, oh, I'm just a back end. I like back end a lot better because design is hard. Design is tough. I'm a tough critic on my design skills, and I'm not that good at it. I'm not horrible, but anyway, it's not fun either to be a designer. It's more fun to just crack some code across the screen. Fucking just lay your hands, your meat sticks down on that keyboard, that greasy, very unclean keyboard, which I use every day, and I just think about all the bacteria on my, it's just like, I'm not going to get sick. How often do I got to clean this thing? I just know it's the dirtiest thing ever. But so is the phone screen. So anyway, I like to bust code out and let it just rip across the screen. That's how I get my rocks off. These guys were using my code to search for their favorite porn star, their favorite, porn star that was like, this was the early days of porn where there's actually porn stars. It wasn't all just amateur. It's like Brazzers, Reality Kings, that was a big one. So people search for these actual porn stars. And so my code was the part, that's how I jerked off, is when that code, fuck yeah, it works so well, man. But I also made the front end CSS, JavaScript, whatever. jQuery. I don't think I even used jQuery back then. It was before I found out about jQuery, which I still use because it does the job. People shit on jQuery. It's a library. If you don't know, it's a way to make JavaScript apps, like web apps, front end JavaScript. Just do whatever you need to do JavaScript wise. It's a library that makes it super shorthand, easy to do. It just takes a lot of the code and tamps it down, condenses it down to just the basics. It's great. It's still a great library. It's just been replaced by other things that are, I guess, better. But if it ain't broken, it might be a little slower. Of course, it's slower because it's a lot of code. It dumbs it down so much that, yeah, it's a lot of... I'm sure the newer libraries are 1,000 times better. That's why they're like React, Angular, Vue. These newer ones that are not that new anymore, but to me they're new because they're not 15 years old. So that's new to me because I'm old. So I still use jQuery because it does the damn job. Document ready? Okay. Load the variables in. Apply whatever sub-libraries that I installed through Composer and NPN, whatever. Composer or whatever, Gulp, whatever. There's many utilities that install the libraries for you, and then whatever. I did kind of keep up a little bit on how to at least do the very minimal stuff instead of copy and pasting. I don't know. I still copy and paste, obviously, a lot. Once you get a library, like Font Awesome is a library for icons. And I use the CDN URL, and I just copy and paste that. I don't build it myself. I don't self-host the library. I use a CDN to load in the libraries because everybody already has it downloaded to their browser. It's already cached on so many servers across the world that it only has to go a short distance to the person's computer if they don't already have it downloaded to begin with. They might already just have it downloaded. If they go to other old websites that still use jQuery. But that's what the benefit of a CDN is. Okay, there's all these servers around the world caching the JavaScript resource, the code, It's all bundled up into a nice, minimal file with no white space, just the code. And it's going to download super quick. So I'm a proponent of that technology, which is also like 15 years old. Is when CDNs became kind of a thing. They're still very useful. It's not a trend. It's still good to use CDNs. You want to shard the data all around the world so people can just pull the little bit that they need. I don't know. Sharding's different. That's like decentralizing. Because that's not quite the same as mirroring or replicating data. Anyway, so this is a technical podcast. I didn't think I would get technical because I was more thinking about stuff that was I did earlier in the night. I was thinking more about like comedy stuff earlier because I wet my beak. My beak got wet by convincing myself. I just found it the strength to bring myself to go out on a Saturday night, which is super unheard of. It's unheard of for me to, on my own volition, go out on a Saturday night. So I had to talk myself into it. So anyway, I did though, and it was fine. And the Vyvanse helped. I'm on Vyvanse now. It's a very powerful stimulant. It makes me feel really joyful about working towards something, working towards a goal. Not, it's not the most long-term goal. It's not good. I'm still not doing good on that stuff, on the long-term goal stuff. But when I get it in my blood that I'm doing comedy, it's all I think about for the rest of the day. Then the next day it usually goes away, and I go, well, I don't want to do that. I just want to look on the computer. I just want to look at code all day. I have two trains of thought and brain modes. My brain is it switches back and forth from comedy to code. They're both fun, but code can give me that dopamine much more efficiently because I'm better at that than I am at comedy. I'm just way more experienced at coding than comedy. Comedy, you kind of, if you don't use it, you lose it. You'll still always have it, but it won't come out. It won't flourish if you don't take it out of the garage every day. You got to do it pretty much every day to actually be funny consistently. I just forget how to do it. And it's just something you just have to do. It's like lifting weights. Unless I take a long break and I'm just so excited to do it, actually, I could be pretty good. But to actually kill, nah, you gotta be doing it more than once a month, more than once a week. Because I have all these little buds of jokes, these little tiny little premises, and they just stop after the first punch. Because I haven't worked on it. I'm not in the energy. I'm not rehearsed or practiced training. I'm not training enough to be able to get a second punchline just on this, actually kill. It's been a while. It's embarrassing. And then I'm just doing damage control. It's okay, I just don't want to bomb that bad. How about that? Let's just get through this without feeling that gut punch. That feeling of horrible, ugh, that was bad. Sometimes it's unavoidable. But anyway, just getting a little taste of comedy going on stage. It's fuck, now I want to, it'd be nice to do it again. It'd be nice to do it more. It's an addiction thing. You get a little sniff of cocaine. Comedy's like that. That's why you should do cocaine if you're a comedian. I'm not serious, but I'm not joking, but I'm also not serious. Don't take this as me condoning drug use. I'm saying you should consider it. I'm not ever going to do cocaine because I have epilepsy and it'd be bad. They told me, don't do cocaine or heroin. Those two things definitely don't do. I was okay, fine. But anyway, I just know that I still think about it. Of course I think about it. Other people do it, and I know what it feels like to be on a stimulant. It feels great. Being on cocaine makes you just want to actually like have fun, like talk. It makes you confident in yourself, like yeah. And if you're kind of funny, it's like throwing gasoline on a tiny little ember. And alcohol was the exact same thing for me. Not cocaine. I've never done cocaine, but alcohol was my version of that because it ignited the ember. Because it gives you the same end result. For me. When I say you, I mean me. Anyway, but I have been more aggressive on this Vyvanse. Like this Vyvanse, I like it for that, but also I don't like it for that. I don't like being aggressive or... That's the word, I guess. Aggressive. Yeah, I just don't want to be a dick to people. I don't want to be too over assertive. You got to find the... So Adderall didn't do that to me. Adderall didn't really make me like edgy. It didn't make me like confrontational as much. Because I didn't take as much. It just smoothed me. It made me relaxed. It made me not care as much about other people doing something mean or whatever, like being bold. Like it took away the sensitivity. Vyvanse, it's not really taking away the rejection sensitivity. I still feel like empty and like I got something. I just feel like, pain when I don't get what I want. So I'm still in a state of wanting and desiring and coming home and feeling like empty and like, whoa, that was not what I want. I didn't get what I wanted. That's the worst feeling, man, is going out, not getting what you wanted out of the night and just having to go home. And it's like, okay, let's stay up until 6 a.m. anyway, because I was going to do that anyway. But it's just like, okay, that was like an empty feeling of effort that was put into this night. So that's why I've been staying in a lot, just to avoid that pain. Because I'm also not helping other people out by going out if I ain't feeling good. If I ain't feeling good, I'm just going to make other people be like, ugh. But sometimes I'm feeling good and I do that anyway. Sometimes I am in a good mood, and because I'm in a good mood, I still say things that people think is bad. That still rubs them, like they think I'm being like a jerk. Even though it's just my style, it's just my sense of humor is to say weird things, like things that could come off as like bullying kind of, but I'm just how I talk to people. For example, I was like, I don't even want to go, this is too, but I said something to a comic that I haven't seen in a few weeks. And he took it as me like like insulting him is for like, and then I think he took it the wrong way, but it's just something I gotta work out, or what's the word? Explain later on when I see him next time or some shit. I don't know. It makes me want to go out as soon as possible to see him again, so I could be like, yo, I was just kidding. I was just kidding, right? It was like, I was just making conversation. I was just trying to start a conversation because I like you. See, I only do it with people I like. I only bully people if I want to talk to them. If I don't like somebody, I don't want to bully them because that would be actually bullying. So anyway, I'm not really a bully, and then I feel bad. I feel really bad afterwards if I do touch somebody the wrong way, because people are sensitive, and of course I feel bad because I'm super sensitive when people like say something that they don't even mean as offensive. So it's like, who am I to think that I could get away with that? So anyway, but you can if they're friends with you, if they get where it's coming from. And that's what I'm hungry for, is people that I could shoot the shit with. And that takes work. It takes a lot of whatever. There's some people that I could probably have some form of peerdom, like peers, man. I need peers, and that's how I talk to my peers. I say things like, "What's up?" And I say a bad word or something. I say a bad word, obviously, because that's how you talk to your friends. But whatever, if they haven't seen me in 2 weeks, they don't know who the hell I am. They don't know like where I'm coming from. They just think like I'm not that close enough to just be able to do that. But also, it'll happen. Because that's the thing. Sometimes I've gone through entire friendships without ever doing that, without ever talking to them in a jokey way. And that's boring. That's not a real friendship if you can't like call them bad words. It's not a real friendship. That's like weird that you're hanging out and you can't even like make a crass joke with them, you know? So anyway, that's hard to find when you're, you know, in a certain, when you're me. Because, yeah, I don't, you know, I'm very picky. But anyway, whatever. It takes time, man. My peers are people that, I don't know, who are they? Crypto bros. Yeah, they're out there. Okay, so let's make this is boring, man. I'm talking about my problems. Who wants to hear about that? This is just a regular podcast. I just talk in a regular voice. I'm not trying to be fun. This is just like, this is my normal podcast. I'm not in character. I'm not, like, I already did that a couple days ago, and it was horrible. I did a Timmy Gusto podcast, and it was kind of okay. At the time, I listened back to it, and I was like, okay, it's okay. I get why I thought this is funny, but then I can't bring myself to actually, like, take clips from it and put it out there, because it's not that good. So anyway, this is not that good either, but this is probably at least something, whatever. So yeah, crypto. Roof leak, that's boring. Yeah, man, there's certain topics that I don't want to, I can only talk about what I want to talk about, man. Otherwise, I'll just end this. Envy. Yeah, I'm envious of people that have a community, that have a tight-knit circle, which there's people that have that. And, I'm a lone wolf. And it makes it tough to go out as well. If you have nobody to meet up with, it's like, okay, I'm just flying completely solo, and it's by choice. It's completely by choice. Yeah, because I like to only befriend people that have something to give me, like people usually that are above me in some way. And that's just how it is. It's something I am thinking about a lot. Like, but I you know, it's just tough to hang out with people that you don't really want to hang out with. Otherwise, you just feel like you're donating your time instead of enjoying yourself. It's like, okay, yeah, I could hang out with this person. They want to hang out with me, but it's not a strong enough. I don't want to enough to actually do it, because so it's how it is for me, and I'm proud of that. Not, you know, very proud to think that I'm better than other people and too good to hang out with them, but I'm just being honest, man. You gotta have something cool going on. Or just think I'm so cool that it balances out because you're flattering me enough every 2 seconds to where it's like, okay, I can handle you for another few minutes. Okay. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is to be a narcissist. They just want to be around yes men. And it's like, it's gross, of course, to only want to be around people that are going to, you know, butter you up. But it's necessary too at the same time, because you at least need somebody happy to see you when you're doing, like, I'm thinking of Louis C.K. right now, and he actually says he doesn't do that. He doesn't surround himself with yes men. He likes to go up there at the club from being alone, not surrounded by people that are talking about how great he is, because he actually cares about getting better as a comic or just working on the bit. He wants to work on the actual bit. He doesn't want to be surrounded by yes men and just get through the set using coasting on his skills. He wants to work on the bit. And that's the difference between me and Louis C.K. That's the difference between him and a lot of people. He doesn't want to be surrounded by yes men, but he had to learn this somehow. How the hell did he figure that out? Because most comedians want to be around yes men. Most actors, most anybody that is doing something, they want to be around people that kind of support them. But just, at least sometimes. But I also get the whole wanting to prove people wrong and like feeling like an outsider and wanting to take your dick out and show off to them to then get accepted. Whatever, man. It's all a game of social currency. And when you're broke, it feels worse than ever. Being like socially broke, not having any currency, or at least enough to feel good. It's tough. It's tough to not have that. And you get what you give. If you're not giving any out, you can't expect people to just shower you in social in attention and give you opportunities if you're not proving that you're worthy and giving other people the time of day. You gotta be supporting whatever. It's a give and take. It's like value based on, it's a supply and demand economy. So if I'm out there and I don't got nothing going on that I'm proud of, that I put out that was like that I'm proud of, I'm not gonna feel like I belong in public. That's how I am. That's how a lot of people are. It's hard to explain. Whatever. You get it. If you get it, you know what I'm saying. If you don't, there's many people that would be like, no, I just like to go out to have fun. I don't care. I don't have to go out. I don't have to be proud of myself to go out. But like, well, yeah, that's how it is for me. So I'm in a showbiz community, and I don't go out just to hang, like have fun, like just to like sightsee. It's to angle towards something, or to hang out with people that are also doing similar things, and to do a podcast. It's something that's an opportunity. But anyway, so that's why I don't go out very often. And it might change a little bit, but I'm not setting the standards to. I don't know, man. I got enough where I can't not think of. It's not like I'm just giving up on going out, and I'm not just gonna stay home like it's COVID, like it's 2020, and just give up and be completely insulated from that world, because it's also bad. It's almost even worse. I don't know. Sometimes it is worse to do nothing. But I'm not doing nothing. I'm doing crypto. I'm a crypto guy, and there's been another little interesting few months in crypto with these new meme tokens. Ethereum, PEPE, that thing went up a lot, and I missed the boat, man. I didn't want to get on once everybody was already talking about it. Once I found out about it, it was already too late. It was already on CoinGecko, and people were saying that it already went up like 10,000, whatever, 100,000%. So it's like 1,000,000% maybe. So it's like, well, okay, I don't want to just get in when everybody's talking about it. So I didn't get in, and then it went up another like 500%. And it was like, I got FOMO, got punched in the face by FOMO. It's like, shit, it's still going up. If I just put in money when I first discovered it, it would have gone up 500% or something like that. I don't know, maybe 10,000, maybe 1,000%. I don't know, because I didn't do it. I didn't feel like going through the process of setting up the accountings. Like, I don't want to add it to my accounting system, because it's embarrassing to add more coins that are probably not going anywhere, that are meme coin. I already invested in enough meme tokens. So I didn't do it. So I had FOMO, and that FOMO is similar to the comedy FOMO. It's the same feeling, because money, it's not as good as it's not as satisfying as like the comedy stuff. If you do well at comedy, people give you something that's probably even better than, I don't know, same thing. Money does make you happy if you're making it more than you have before. Like if you're making higher amounts of money, that makes you happy. It just, like, yeah, you get used to a certain amount, but if you start making more, you get happy. Says, you know, and then also the money could feed into comedy, because if you have so much money, you could eventually just buy fans. It's expensive. It's like $2 at least per fan, per like or something on Facebook, whatever, followers. To actually buy them, it's pretty expensive. But if you have an unlimited budget, you could just buy your way into having an audience, and maybe some of them will stick around, and then you won't have to spend money advertising it anymore, because it'll just spread. I don't know, it'll organically. But yeah, anyway, if I had PEPE money, I would use it to advertise shows, because if you have so much, it's just like being too big to fail, like a bank, like most banks are not. If you're too big to fail, it's just like, okay, money talks. Money gets you places. If you don't have the clout to make it happen, you're without money. That clout is social currency. You need some currency to get what you want, to sell tickets. People gotta care about you. They gotta know who you are. You gotta have followers to sell tickets, and that'd be cool. But I don't feel, when you have such little self confidence and self-doubt and fear and uneasiness, and you don't like seeing yourself on camera, and you don't really, want to even get your day going. You just wake up feeling like, okay, I want to eat something. I slept horrible. Let's eat something, and then go back to bed and just browse crypto subreddits or something. Just read about finance. So if you wake up at 8 p.m., that's bad. That's a bad time to wake up. And that's where I'm at right now. I woke up at 8 p.m. because I needed to sleep. Because I went to bed at like 12 p.m. I went to bed in the afternoon. So I was up all night. And I slept, and I had dreams about New York. I thought I was in New York. It was very vivid. It was an epic dream. It was a fun dream. But if your dreams are fun, that usually means that your brain is compensating for how unfun your life is. So that's where I'm at. That's my problem, right? That's one of my problems. So anyway, my roof had a leak. I guess that's not that interesting enough to cover, but yeah, it was a tiny little leak. I noticed my ceiling was wet, just a tiny just a tiny little circle of wetness after a huge rainstorm. So I was like, well, I gotta do something about it. I can't just let this go. So I went in the attic, and it was still raining. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was still raining at that point. But I went in the attic, tried to see if I could spot the leak. There was nothing to see there. It's too far deep into the... I would have had... Did I already talk about this? I feel like I already talked about this. Yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of already... Something about... Because I remember talking about insulation. Having to walk over the insulation. But anyway, we got it fixed. And it's satisfying to fix something. It's also, I haven't gotten the invoice for it yet. This guy he hasn't responded to the email. He didn't say nothing. He just sent some people to fix it. They fixed it really quick. They left without saying anything. And I didn't get an invoice. It's been 3 days or something. But I'm sure he'll send the invoice. He's too busy because everybody's roof is leaking because of all this hail. Being a roofer is you make money. I feel like I already talked about roofers. Didn't I already talk about roofers at some point? Whatever. That's all I got going on. Nothing else interesting happened since the last episode, man. I watched a scary movie. I've been getting into new crypto projects, which I'm skeptical of because they're all the same. It's only the meme ones that are actually popping off because it's just based on hype. There's going to be a new project that is not just based on hype, that actually has a new technology behind it. That's what Ethereum was. when Ethereum came out, I totally missed the boat because I didn't hear about it. I didn't know nothing about it. I wasn't keeping abreast. I was just a Bitcoin maxi pad and a little bit of Dogecoin. That was before Doge. That was before I got into Dogecoin. I was late. I was very late into Dogecoin. But anyway, Ethereum would have been a good one to invest in when it came out because it was 43 cents. Now it's about $2,000 a piece. And everybody's complaining about the blockchain fees. The gas fee per transaction is very high. If you're just sending Ethereum, that's going to cost a lot of money when the gas prices are, when everybody's using the blockchain, when it's getting when it's all filled up with traffic, a lot of cars on the highway, it's going to get more expensive. And all these meme coins, or some of them are on Ethereum. So that's why it's bottled up. And it's a bottleneck. The meme coins are just memes. That's it. You're just investing in a pump and dump scheme. That's it. It's not utility, but it's just something that the SEC hasn't cracked down on because it's not a security, so you can't really get in too much trouble, I guess. But anyway, so that's kind of what I've been looking at, is tracking those and trying to reverse FOMO I'm just trying to get in on something that's actually not like a complete waste. Pretty skeptical when I come across a new crypto project and you just read about it and there's no, like, the white paper is nothing about it new. It's just like, yeah, it's a layer 1. This is a new layer 1 project that's going to revolutionize the blockchain, whatever. It's going to have low fees and high transaction. It's like, well, what's new about it? Everybody says that. That's all of them. They all say the same thing. So even though, like, there's no promising projects that I know about except for the ones that have been around for years, like Loop Ring, which I don't fully. It lets people run an exchange, decentralized exchange. That one. It's not like I fully understand that one either. I don't understand most of the ones that I'm invested in. You're supposed to only invest in stuff that you understand, man. That's why Warren Buffett doesn't invest in PEPE. So I do understand PEPE. That one is easy to understand. It's just a token based on a meme, and that's why it's cool, because it's a famous meme. But that's it. That's all Doge was. It's just a copy of a copy. Shiba Inu. It's just the new Shiba Inu. Nothing special about it. I don't like the tokenomics. That's another reason I didn't buy. There's like 420 trillion coins. And I don't like having such a big number of coins in circulation. Trillions? There needs to be trillions of them. I like billions. Like a couple billion coins is better. Yeah, if it was 420 billion, that would be fine. But it's 420 trillion. So you have such a huge amount of coins that you have to account for. It's like, well, it's just not satisfying when there's that many. So I didn't like it when it's the tokenomics. I'm more of a Doge. I like Doge's tokenomics. It's not a deflationary token, though, so that's the tough part to swallow. Ethereum, Ether, is a deflationary token. Coin, whatever you call it, it's a protocol. But the tokenomics for ETH are very good. Very good. They just changed them. They made it so it burns. You could stake it. You could stake your Ethereum and make like 6% a year back annually. Yeah, in Ethereum. But also, it's deflationary too. On top of that, the circulating supply is going down every day. Thousands of ETH are burnt in transaction fees, and so it lowers the supply. So it's deflating. It's not inflating. There's no inflation. It's the opposite. So that's good. So Ethereum could overtake Bitcoin in market cap Yeah, it's definitely going to go up at some point because because it's deflation. I mean, so will Bitcoin for the same reason. It's also deflationary. It doesn't go down in supply, but it gets lost in transaction. Like people get paid in the transaction. The miners still get paid, but it's a finite number, and it goes down in circulation kind of because people lose it on they just lose their Bitcoin. So whatever. Ethereum I'm very bullish on, but it's still expensive though. It's already the market cap is already in the hundreds of billions. It's already got a bigger market cap than the top Fortune 500 or SPY companies, S&P companies. It's already got a bigger market cap than like Facebook or Tesla. So it's pretty expensive. Or it's, so as much as I'm bullish, I still think the crypto market could shrink by quite a bit. It could go down. The market cap of the total crypto market could go down by another $1 trillion or something. By $1 trillion. And so I will get Ethereum as it goes down in price. I'm going to scoop up Ethereum because once you have a certain amount, you want to hold it pretty much forever because it'll pay a dividend, which, I'm a big fan of passive income, not just holding stocks with the same amount of shares. I like income too, whatever. Ethereum's great. So if it goes down, it's like $1,000. That's a good buy-in price. If it goes to less than 1,000, super good price for Ethereum, but that'll take the whole market going down, or a new coin replacing it, which is unlikely because the technology behind Ethereum is cutting edge, has the smartest developers in the world. There's some other projects with smart developers that are making their own blockchain by scratch. It's hard to compete with Ethereum, whatever, the big ones, the McDonald's of coins. And anyways, that's crypto. I'm hungry to get rich off crypto again. For real this time. So I could ball it up, so I could take profits. You got to be aggressive about taking profits. And then put it into index funds on an actual brokerage, which is not as safe as I used to feel it was a couple months ago before the bank collapse. You gotta diversify. You gotta not have all your money in crypto, but also not have it all in a bank and not have it all in stocks. Because who the hell knows what's gonna happen with these investment companies or these money financial firms in general, not just banks, but I'm worried that even a company like Schwab or Fidelity could have issues, man, because if everybody's taking their money out, so you got to diversify. That's like one of the most universal rules of wealth management is diversify. Know your risk tolerance level. If you're putting money into PEPE, put in what you're willing to lose for sure. With that, put in 1% of your portfolio at the most in PEPE. Unless you're crazy. Unless you really are crazy or desperate, like a Wall Street better. Or, Wall Street bets. Those guys. They put it all on black. It's a gambling. You don't want to really gamble unless you just don't care. Unless you just have nothing to lose. You're just like, I'll lose. That does mean you have something to lose. If you gamble your money, if you have enough money to gamble, that's kind of means you have something to lose. So I just mean mentally, like you're in a tough spot mentally, and you don't give a crap about your life, and it's degenerate. It's a degenerate thing to do, but so is PEPE. So if you're going to invest degeneratively, do it in a non-degenerate way, because we all want to get rich off PEPE, but don't put half your life into it, half your savings into one coin. Because nobody really who got rich off PEPE, I don't think they did that. Some people, maybe, with Shiba. So, like, people got rich off Shiba and PEPE, whatever. But a lot of them already had a pretty good amount of money to put. They didn't risk their whole portfolio to become, and then whatever, man. But everything gets boring after a while. Like, once you have a certain amount, yeah, you still want more. Even if you're a multi-millionaire. If you have like 50 mil, you're going to want to get to that 100 mil because life just gets easier and easier. And then once you hit like 500 mil, that's pretty much the cap for how good your life could be from having money. That's pretty much infinite money if you have 500. Very few people need $1 billion and actually want to spend that much as their personal net worth. 500 million to $1 billion, your life doesn't get that much better in between those two milestones. But 50 million is not the end of the world. You still want more. You still want at least a couple 100 million. Then you could be like, okay, yeah, money, what, I got enough where I don't really need to worry about it, or it's not that interesting anymore. It's not like, oh, I need to find the best hedge fund to put my millions in so I could get to 600 million or $1 billion. It's like, yeah, if that's your goal to be a billionaire, fine. But if you're just talking lifestyle-wise, a couple 100 million is all you need to be like, okay, now I could just relax on that part of my life. Now at least I don't have that issue to worry about. I have no money problems. They say more money, more problems, but yeah, that's only true if you don't have people working for you. If you are only worth 5 to 10 million, you're going to have a lot of problems because it's enough to feel wealthy, but not enough to hire people to take care of your wealth that you trust. You need to have at least 500 million to where you can afford the right people to look after your money and security in life. And everybody still has problems. You still get worried about getting robbed at gunpoint. I don't know if you're a 500 millionaire. Yeah, you still need protection and entourage and yes men. But anyway, so I do want big money, and I like talking about it, but it's also not pleasant. People don't like hearing about it, but that's because they're not rich. It just makes them jealous, man. Like, nobody wants to hear about shit that makes them jealous, man. So, nobody likes hearing about, oh, man, I'm doing so well. I'm doing so well, man. Like, nobody wants to hear that if they also want that. If they're not getting the thing you're bragging about, you're bragging about how you're doing so well in comedy, people just go, yeah, cool. They'll just like grit their. They might be somewhat of supportive. They'll be like, oh, cool, but that's it. They don't want to hear about that. But anyway, I'm trying to find my home base to hang out in Austin in comedy. I'm not good enough for certain places, but I think I am good enough for some places. But I can't feel like I'm too good for those places that want me. I want to go where I'm wanted. A little bit. I still want to be in the best ones. But if I'm not wanted there, I should go to the place where they actually want me, where my bread is buttered. So I'm trying to figure that, so I need to get myself out there, man. I need to grit my teeth and get my ass out of the house. Because once I'm out of the house, I could kind of motivate, once I'm at the open mic or wherever the hell I am. Once I'm focused on doing comedy, I'll at least do as much as possible that night. I just have to get out of the house. And the Vyvanse is helpful for staying focused on stuff that I actually want to be. I don't get burnt out as quick. So thank God for Vyvanse. It's a very powerful stimulant. It's like, it just makes you feel like Popeye. It just makes you feel like, yeah, I could do this. I could move around. But then it wears off and you feel, and then you cry, and it's not, and then you feel bad. It lasts a long time, but the next day, I need to, if I don't take it, I'm deflated. There's nothing happening that whole day. I'm not doing nothing productive. So I'm in a state where I'm dependent on a very powerful stimulant. And yeah, I want to be on the strongest one and the most effective one, not just, I don't like side effects. If I'm going to be on a stimulant, I want to be on the best one. So not these children, not these ones that anyway, the crash, it's probably unavoidable, but anyway, and it's also still because of the quitting other substances. I'm still sober update. I'm still sober from weed and alcohol and those things I was using to get through life. And you don't want to just get through life. You want to have a life that's fun and redeeming, rewarding, and you want to give other people something too. It's not all about you. It's not about just what you could take. If you give other people something, they will make you want to do it even more because it feeds it, and then maybe I won't have to take as much stimulants if I have an outside source of dopamine. Sometimes you don't need to take stimulants if you're getting dopamine. As somebody with ADHD, it is boring, but as somebody with ADHD, not all of us need to be on stimulants. There's different dosages that we need to be on. Because if we have something like a structure, then that structure keeps us going in a way that we're doing fine. But anyway, I don't think it's not possible for me right now to be unmedicated. So thank God for medication. Medication's good. It's addictive, but I'm an addict, so it's if I wasn't on Vyvanse, I'd be doing other stuff. Because I'm an addict, and I have low dopamine. It takes a lot for me to get excited, but also not that much. It takes a famous person for me to get excited and butterflies and like, whoa, a famous person is in the room or whatever. Makes you want to chase after them, and then when you don't get it, it makes you feel worse. And that's the come down of not getting the reward or whatever. That's Andrew Huberman. It's like Andrew Huberman talks about the dopamine cycle, and if you have a lot, there's going to be things trying to take it away, and if you don't, I don't know, I can't explain it right now. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Like, I stick to I'm going to only talk about what I know about, which I already did. We covered Bitcoin layer 1s. Talked about jQuery, which I'm pretty good at. I'm pretty proficient in jQuery. So that's something I could talk about with confidence, man. PHP? Yeah, I'm confident in it, but that doesn't mean I want to look at other people's PHP. I like my PHP code. I don't want to go anywhere near other people's PHP code. Anyway, so this was fun. This was a podcast called The Tim Weichselbaum Show. Hope y'all have a good week and take care of yourselves and keep doing whatever you need to do to get through this bitch of a life that we call life. What a bad way to end this. But hey, sometimes it's tough to end this. And one time I did 12 hours almost because I just didn't want to end it. But it's not going to be one of those times. Thank you very much.